The city never really slept, but it sure as hell pretended to. Streetlights flickered like tired eyes, neon signs buzzed in the distance, and somewhere between the alleys and the skyline, people lived lives nobody else cared to notice. That's where he thrived. That's where Evan Cole made his art. See, Evan wasn't your typical photographer chasing sunsets and smiling couples. No, this guy chased something darker, something raw. Pain, fear. The exact moment when a human being realized things were about to go very, very wrong. And the crazy part? Nobody knew he was the one making it happen. Evan had built himself a clean little reputation online. His Instagram, straight fire. Moody black and white shots, eerie urban vibes, abandoned buildings, lonely streets. People called him a genius, said his work felt too real. If they only knew, his followers would zoom in on his photos, trying to decode the emotion behind them. A girl standing under a flickering light, eyes wide with terror. A man frozen mid-step, like he'd just heard something behind him. Shadows stretching longer than they should. What they didn't realize was simple and terrifying. Those weren't staged shots. Those were moments before everything went south. It started small. A shove in a dark alley, click. A staged robbery that went just a little too far, click. Evan would set the scene, control the chaos just enough, and capture that split second when panic took over. That raw, unfiltered fear. That was his masterpiece. He told himself it wasn't murder. Not at first. Just pushing boundaries. Just art. But art, like addiction, escalates. Always. One night, he found his perfect subject. Her name was Lila. He didn't know her personally, but he'd seen her around. Late night coffee shop, headphones in, always walking the same route home. Routine, predictable, easy. He followed her for days, camera slung casually over his shoulder like he belonged anywhere he stood. That night, the city felt colder than usual. Wind cutting through empty streets, trash rolling across the pavement like something out of a cheap horror flick. Lila turned into the alley. Evan smiled. Showtime. Everything was planned. Lights, dim, escape routes, covered, camera, ready. But something felt off. As Lila walked deeper into the alley, she slowed down, not scared, aware. Evan stepped out anyway. "Hey," he called, casual as hell. She turned, and for a split second, just one, Evan froze. Her expression wasn't fear, it was recognition. "You've been following me," she said flatly. No panic, no shaking, just cold, hard certainty. Evan laughed it off. "Nah, you got the wrong guy." But his hand tightened around the camera. Click. He took the shot anyway. And that's when everything flipped. Lila reached into her bag, not for a phone, not for pepper spray, but for something heavier. A gun. Evan's stomach dropped. "Yeah," she said, stepping closer. "I've seen your work." His pulse slammed in his ears. "You think people don't notice?" she continued. "Same patterns, same fear, same timing." She tilted her head. "You're not as slick as you think, dude." For the first time in a long time, Evan wasn't the one in control, and he hated it. "Put the gun down," he snapped, trying to reclaim dominance, but his voice cracked just enough to betray him. Lila smirked. "Nah, I don't think I will." Then came the sound. Another click. But it wasn't his camera. A flash lit up the alley from behind. Evan turned, too slow. A second figure stepped out of the shadows, camera in hand, lens pointed straight at him. "Perfect shot," the stranger muttered. Evan's breath hitched. What the hell is this? The stranger lowered the camera just enough to reveal a grin. "You're not the only one who appreciates authentic moments." Panic surged. Real panic. The kind he used to capture. The kind he used to create. Lila stepped closer, gun steady. "Funny thing about predators," she said softly. "Sometimes they get studied too." Evan backed up, heart racing. This is messed up," he stammered. The stranger laughed. "Messed up? Man, you've been documenting people's last moments like it's some art exhibit." Another flash. Click. "Now it's your turn." Evan ran, or at least he tried. But the alley felt tighter now, smaller, like the walls were closing in. Footsteps echoed behind him, not chasing, walking, calm, controlled. That scared him more than anything. He stumbled, hit the ground hard, camera skidding out of his hand. The lens cracked. For a second, he just stared at it. His tool, his weapon, his identity broken. And footsteps stopped right behind him. Silence, then click. The last thing Evan saw was the flash reflecting in a puddle beneath him. His own face, twisted in fear. Perfect composition, perfect lighting, perfect truth. The next morning, the city kept